Albany, grew up on the Onondaga Nation. Went to University of Albany High School, Lafayette, and currently right now playing for the Georgia Swarm in the National Lacrosse League, and in the MLL, the Major League, I'm playing for the Florida Launch, and proud member of the Iroquois Nationals team.
I'm Miles Thompson, basically the same thing as him. We went to the University of Albany together, we played for Georgia together, and we played for Florida together. And we also played on the same Iroquois national team.
Jerome Thompson, almost the same as them. I went to Onondaga Community College, started out playing for Buffalo Bandits. Currently now playing for Georgia Swarm and National Lacrosse League.
Yeah, and just one thing we always like to share with everyone we talk to. We travel around the country doing different camps, and one thing we always speak to the kids about, speak to the parents about, is the history of this game, the medicine game. And it's something we like to share because for one thing, a lot of people don't know the history of the game. They don't even know that this is a Native American sport and true origin of this game, and so that's something we always like to touch on. And one of the main things I like to touch on is the stick. So in our medicine game, for those of you who don't know, we still to this day, the history where this game started, we still play that original game, and we call it a medicine game. Every spring, the new plant life comes up. It's a new season, and new life is coming back, and in that time we have our planting ceremonies, which is taking place at our longhouse. We give thanks. We give thanks for the new year. We give thanks for everything that's coming back, everything that's come back to grow for the next season. And we have a renewal game, a medicine game, a lacrosse game, and in this game we have around 100 plus, sometimes a little bit less, depending on the year. Different people show up, and the age group is from, we have 10-year-olds to, any of you guys know Oren Lyons, who's, 80 plus years old. He's out there playing, and for us, this is our medicine game. We're only allowed to use these sticks, traditional wooden sticks, and you go out there, you hear us say it all the time, we go out there, we play with a clear mind. You play your hardest, you give it 110%, and you're playing for the Creator. That's the way we play that game. And in my eyes, I play three forms of lacrosse. And then again, I'm still playing lacrosse. I play the medicine game, I play box lacrosse, and I play field lacrosse. And to me, they're two different sports. A lot of different skills in each game. But in this medicine game is where I've learned the most. I've learned respect. I've learned, how to come out and truly play with 110% and be happy with a win or a loss. Be grateful for the game I'm playing. And a lot of it comes with the start of the stick. This is a Jack Johnson stick. Someone who's learned from someone we grew up using their sticks is Alfie Jock, and Jack Johnson's definitely, taking the role and becoming a great stick maker. And I think he does it right. Where with this stick, it's coming what we're taught in that medicine game. We're giving thanks, and when we take the life of this tree, we're showing respect to this tree. We're giving it another life through the game of lacrosse. It's made of hickory wood. Same thing with this cat gut right here. Some people make it with different materials, but Jack Johnson makes it with cowhide, deer hide, and that's another thing. We're taking the life of another living thing. We're showing respect, and we're giving it back. We're giving it more life, and that's one thing that's carried on for me. Something my father's always taught me, is to respect the game. And for me, it all started right there, respecting my stick. When I was a kid, all four of me and my brothers, Jeremy, Heina, Miles, myself, we all grew up using a traditional wooden stick. right up until we were about 13 years old. I remember playing. We played in Central New York, Syracuse. It was called the Bowl League, and I think it was like every Tuesday or Wednesday we'd go up. We'd have our team from the Onondaga Nation, a bunch of native kids on the team. My father coached us, and my first game, I started playing field lacrosse maybe 10 years old, 9 years old. I go out there with my wooden stick. The ref comes up to my father, who's the coach, and tells me I can't use the stick. So my dad's looking at me, asked me what I want to do, and at that point, I already had my connection with my stick. And that's something we teach at camps is to grow a connection with the stick. That's where you're going to move on. That's where you're going to take your game to the next level. And for me, my connection was there from when I was a kid. And, I started growing my connection with my stick, my traditional wooden stick. I had respect for it. I slept with it every night, every day before school. Before the bus came, I'd run outside, I'd grab my stick, I'd play for about 10, 15 minutes. I see the bus go up the road, run inside, throw my stick inside, and jet it to the top of our driveway. We got a pretty long driveway, so I'd run up there and catch the bus. And for me, it all started with my connection. It all started with the respect I had for my stick. And I would, like I said, I think for me that's where it started. Going back to my story, the Bowl League, my father had to go talk to the ref. I told him I was using my stick. I didn't have another stick. I never in my life even practiced with a plastic stick. So my father went, described to him the importance of my stick and why I used it. So the next 3 years, I was using a traditional wooden stick. The ref told me, I just have to take it easy with my slashing and whatnot. But that was easy for me. I was more of a cross-checker anyways. But yeah, that's one thing we teach at camps is and we try to spread. It's the history of this game, where it comes from, and what it can teach you. And for me, like I said, there's 3 different forms of this game. I'm closest to this game. Obviously, a lot of these people here are closest to the field lacrosse game. Box lacrosse players, Canadians, a lot of Canadians, they're close to the box lacrosse game. But I can tell you that it all starts with your stick, that connection with your stick. And one thing I've learned, again, is respect. And, a lot of people are taught this is a game of war. That's not what I was taught. I was taught what I said. It's a game of respect. It's a game of going out there, playing for the Creator, and playing with everything you got. And that's what that's the way I play every game, whether it's medicine game, NLL, MLL. I'm going out there with the same viewpoint. I'm going to go out there, give it 110%, and I control what I control. At the end of the day, I'm happy with playing the game of lacrosse. And I think a lot of people, that's something a lot of people don't understand when me, Miles, Heina, Jeremy, when we say in our interviews, play with a clear mind, play with respect. It's, like I said, when you're taught it's a game of battle. To me, I'm not going out there with a grudge against anybody on the other team. I'm not going out there with anything against the refs, even though I have a bad history with the refs. I'm going out there to play the game and love the game. And for me, it's what I was taught through the game was what the game has taught me was that respect. And when you learn that, more comes with it. That compassion grows, and you truly care more for everything. And for me, it didn't stop there. It didn't stop at lacrosse. It made me the person I am. So now, everyone I meet, the way I carry myself, whether it's through respecting people, respecting animals, respecting a living tree, or respecting our Mother Earth. That's the main thing I've learned. through the game of lacrosse is just to view everything as a positive, and to view things with a good mind. And that's one thing our culture also teaches is to use the good mind. Everything we do, every ceremony we do, spring, winter, fall, summer, that's what we're taught to do. We're taught to come to one place as one people and use a good mind. And I can honestly say that the game of lacrosse has made me that, has taught me to use the good mind. Got anything? And just to go off of that, one thing we wanted to do here is just to some of the skills we learned through lacrosse. And growing up playing box lacrosse, field lacrosse, using these sticks, a lot harder to use. Like I said, I was born with a stick right up until age 13. Age 13 was the first year I used the plastic stick. And he might have been a little older. I think me and Miles were about the same age, about 13 years old. 8th grade for Heine. He never used a plastic stick until he was in 8th grade. But for me, it taught us a lot of stick skills. Using these sticks for us, we call it a ungohuan pickup, where we kind of just, in medicine games, there's 100 people playing. There's 25 people going off after a ground ball. There's usually the old man, my father. I like to point him out. If there's a big crowd, he's piling right through and just trying to clear it out. And then you got the players who kind of just dig in there. And that's one thing I've learned how to do one of these from using a wooden stick. And I think one of the main things though is just transitioning from the game we grew up playing, box lacrosse, field lacrosse. By the time we got to Albany, playing in high school, box lacrosse was becoming bigger and bigger. The skills of box lacrosse were transitioning to field lacrosse. And by the time we got to Albany, a lot of the game we played was creativity. It was based off of fun and creativity. And one thing that comes with that is the two-man game. That's one thing we're gonna go through. Is just the pick and roll and how many things I personally, us brothers have learned. It's something we grew up playing in the backyard. 2-on-2, it was always me and Jeremy versus Miles and Heine here. But, when you're playing 2-on-2, that's what it turns into. It turns into a two-man game. And, it was never a one-on-one. So we're just going to walk through basically a pick and roll and some of the skills that I think a lot of kids can learn from the pick and roll. A lot of our favorite shots, actually all three of our favorite shots, I think the starting point came from a pick and roll. So just to start off, one thing we brought to Albany was where we like to do the pick and roll, and that's something you learn in box lacrosse. Is we call it the half boards, halfway between the blue line and the goal line. In field lacrosse, we still called it the half boards, the restraining box and the goal line. And the reason we always did it there was so that we had an opportunity to come topside off of a pick. Mouse at a pick. If I came topside off of a pick, I'm still 10 yards, 12 yards. I'm in shooting range. If I get a down pick, I still have angle. Whereas if I get the pick down here more, I'm not. All right? So, it started with a pick and roll game, but I think our favorite stick skills came from that. The backhand, Miles' favorite shot, something he's become known for. For me, the shovel pass, the shovel shot, coming from behind, dunking in that way. And for Heine, a screen shot, a twister. You're able to do all three of these. Almost every shot you can get from the pick and roll if you play it smart. So I think that's where I've learned my shovel shot. A lot of times I'm someone who likes to come underneath, even if I get the pick top. If Miles comes and sets me a pick, I like to just make it look like I'm coming topside, come under, and throw a shovel pass there. And I think building on box lacrosse after so many reps of that, I got comfortable doing it in field lacrosse, going one-handed and just making my passes like that. You want to go through your backhand?
Yeah. So, where you usually get this backhand coming off, it originated, this is where I got my backhand was from box across, coming off this pick. When you come off here, you got a guy sliding. What he's coming for is to disrupt your pass. He needs to get at your hands. So, if you step back and you open up, you're still allowing him to get at your hands. If you come at him, your hands are free. All you need to pass is your hands. All right? So that's where that backhand came into play for me, and it works best. And this pass doesn't have to be a hard pass to your partner on a pick and roll. It just needs to be a lob. So that's where all you have to do is just a simple backhand. And a lot of people think it's flashy. A lot of coaches, my coach at Albany didn't like me doing backhands at all. But once he realized that, that was the best pass in the situation I was put in, so it worked. And I started to use it as my shot, and it was the best shot in the situation that I had.